Hmm. Greetings, everyone. Happy 4th of July. Happy to see you all here. It's Kate and David here with you. We are members of OneNation, and our role here is to host the monthly OneNation member Coherence call. So that's what we're here to do today. Our professional brand is Earth Rising, and what we're aiming to do here is to contribute our professional services here for us all today and as we go through these monthly calls. And this is our way of contributing to the shared mission that we all have together here as members of OneNation Party USA. So we're excited for that. And one of the things we're going to do at the beginning of each of these calls is create a space for Christopher to give us essential updates from the field whenever he's able to join us. So Christopher, you're here today, and I'd like to turn it over to you and have you share whatever's present, and then give it back to me when you're done with that. Okay?
Thank you, Kate. And thank you for your introduction, and hello, everybody. And welcome to those that are still coming on. You know, for those of you who have seen the post that I made earlier today, today is officially OneNation's first birthday. And if you've had any kids that have gone through their first birthday, you know, they're starting to walk and they can kind of eat by themselves a little bit. And that's what it feels like OneNation's at right now. It really feels like it's the first birthday. It still needs a lot of tending to by the parental figures and aunties and uncles, but it's also starting to move around in the world a little bit on its own and start to have a personality and a life of its own. And so I just want to celebrate that 1 year birthday that is OneNation's today. We signed the Declaration of Establishment in Boulder, Colorado on July 4th, 2018. We just finished a major, we got some claps from Tiana, totally. Or whatever the, insert your emojis or stickers or you got it. We just finished what we call phase 3, which was several months with Sophia and I traveling around the country, having cottage style conversations. We ended up having 18 of these forum meetings in about 40 days, covering East Coast, West Coast, and some central areas. Obviously, we didn't cover the entire country, but we were able to bring OneNation to communities across the country and have very intimate, in-depth experiences, really feeling what it was like for people to be exposed to OneNation, the questions they have, the yeses to people registering and joining the network, the energetic support, the appreciation for the work that we're doing. So it was a really meaningful period of time. And a lot of energy was activated. And we are now moving into a next phase where we're integrating a lot of that activated energy and preparing for the next big push. And that's moving us into what we're referring to as phase 4. And phase 4 of the rollout of OneNation is looking like it's going to be July, August, and September. It's integrating a lot of the new relationships and a lot of the new energy from this last phase, where a lot of those new relationships were activated. Many of you on the call were a part of those forum series, so you saw the energy that was activated in your respective forum. Just imagine, many more of those forums happening in groups of 15, 20, 25 people each around the country. So that's a lot of energy, a lot of new members, a lot of real synergistic relationships and implications. And so we're going to be integrating a lot of that to strengthen the fabric of OneNation as a party. Some of the priorities for this next phase will be to build and strengthen our online presence. I think a lot of you know that we've had a fairly weak online presence. We've had a landing page we've had over 1,000 people join our email list just from that landing page alone. And now it's time for us to actually roll out a new website, which is in development right now, which will have a lot more information, a lot more resources, a lot more of a professional presence online. We'll also be strengthening our social media presences And we will be doing other things like putting a Wikipedia article out and other things to strengthen our online presence. We are in the process of developing systems to strengthen and empower our individual members and the relationship between individual members. This is included in programs like our local chapters, which is rolling out right now. Our discovery calls, which will be a program that's designed to connect members to each other, and other programs that are coming out this phase. We have many dozens, if not hundreds of contacts and allies who are very interested in engaging with OneNation, but haven't quite registered yet. So they haven't crossed that transactional threshold. They haven't officially claimed that OneNation member frame or started supporting the organization financially. And so another major priority this phase will be following up with so many of our close contacts and allies and saying, hey, now's the time to register and make that official so we can officially build the network as well as build the financial strength and resilience of the organization. So if any of you know people that are really interested in OneNation, but for whatever reason haven't registered as a member yet, you can send them to onenation.party/membership and have them officially join the network. We're actually starting a deep dive of research to begin looking at the first iteration of a policy platform. So we will be building a research team. We'll be fundraising specific to hire full-time researchers. We have a very, credible and expert researcher coming to lead that research team. So we'll be taking the all-win principles and then grounding them all the way to policy proposals for American policy platform that we'll then be able to point to in the 2020 All-Win campaign and start to parse out and look at the municipal and the state level implications of that. And that will commence a real, kind of a never-ending process of mulling over the existing policies that run our country, looking at them through the all-win paradigm, inventing new policies, and just this process for a couple decades, and we're gonna have a new world on our hands. We will be rolling out OneNation Radio, so look for more information about that to come. It's something I'm extremely excited about. We'll be actually rolling out some of our transparency mechanisms to be able to increase accountability and transparency and trust within the network. So one of those things will be financial reporting to our members. So this phase will be rolling out, we'll be presenting the financial records for Q1 and Q2 of 2019. Again, that's just part of our process of increasing transparency and accountability and maintaining and strengthening trust throughout the field. We've got many new core allies that we are deepening our relationships with, and we're ultimately in this phase preparing for the public launch of OneNation scheduled for October 2019, which will involve public events, and will involve getting the press involved and beginning actually to move the conversation kind of in like a real organic, networky based way that we've been doing so far, and then actually moving it more into the public's eye through a public launch campaign. And hopefully that'll crack open, the next chapter, the next phase of the OneNation rollout. So there's the update from the field. Kate, thank you for creating a little bit of space and time. Thank you all that for hearing that. And if you're on video and if that was meaningful to you, give me a little thumbs up. And I'll turn the time back over to Kate and David for our meditation. Thank you.
Thanks, Christopher. Awesome to hear that update. And I just want to say in response to that hearing all of the things that are coming, all the many expressions of this work that's coming through, it seems like more than ever, it's a good time right now to be building that field of coherence so that everything comes through in a way that is stable and is built to last. And I'm really happy that we're here together to start that. So just a really brief introduction for those of you who are here, if you weren't here last time, just to say that David, Nicol, and I work as a synergistic team, and My role is to really anchor us and just support the field to come into settle together. And so I'll be opening the calls and closing the calls. It's really important for me that we start on time, end on time, that the boundaries are set, that everybody knows what we're coming into and how we're doing this work together. So you can rely upon that. And then also just in terms of the technology that David and I are working with here, we're working with building a subtle body. And so we're using our collective presence to come into resonance. We're working with a collective belly center or will, a collective heart center, and a collective mind. And so over the course of the many months that we work together, we're basically building a body that has this alignment between these three centers so that all of the work that is going into the world through OneNation is sort of supported and undergirded by this aligned, subtle center, the subtle body. And so David is really expert at bringing us into a deep state of coherent resonance through meditation. And so we'll be doing that together, and we'll be building over time this field that can really support the work in the world. So with that, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. It's a joy to be with you here on the 4th of July. There's nothing else I'd rather be doing on this day than building this particular field with all of you. And we're a small group today with the holiday, but from this small seed, a very big and great tree can grow. And it's the depth and coherence of our field that can be very powerful, even with a small group. So let's go into the meditation. When we do the meditation, we're going to turn off our videos. We will have an opportunity at the end to share, and in the sharing time, we can turn the videos back on. But it's good in the meditation itself, just to, it's kind of a distraction to have the videos on at that time. So let's turn off our videos. And so please now just invite you to take a few deep breaths, and let's close our eyes and just take a few moments to relax and to settle, to arrive more fully here. And invite you, as you settle more fully into the moment, to just notice whatever is here for you today. Whatever feelings, sensations are present for you. And not needing your experience to be any different, just embracing all that's present for you just exactly as it is. I invite you to breathe in and out of your heart center now, in the middle of your chest, bringing your attention from the head to the heart, giving room to your whatever's in your heart. And just opening to a feeling of gratitude in the heart for this opportunity to come together in this way at this time. Knowing we need each other to bring out the full healing power and potential of our group field. I invite you to please bring your awareness now down towards your legs and feet, pelvis, and just sensing the contact that you make with the ground, the earth. feeling the support of earth beneath you. And starting to open your awareness to the vast living presence of earth itself. All its beauty and power and aliveness. And then sending your awareness down into the earth deeper and deeper, as if you're sending down etheric roots that ground your awareness very deeply in the earth. Reaching all the way down to Earth's core. Sensing those roots wrapping around Earth's core. And sense your whole system slowing down as you come into deeper resonance with the rhythm of the pulse of the earth. With this connection to the earth securely made, opening your awareness now to the light from above, from the sun, the stars. Sense that you're receiving that light into your body, into your being, letting it warm and cleanse and purify you. Connecting you with the vast energies of galaxy, the cosmos. Sensing that light surrounding you, creating a healthy boundary that brings a sense of wholeness and integrity to your whole being. And being present here is your very deepest and highest self. So I invite you now to start to become aware of each other's presence on this call. Sensing our group field starting to come into formation as we sense each other. Connecting higher self to higher self. And seeing and feeling a membrane of light around our group field now. Drawing us all into an even deeper common sacred space. Welcome into this field our relations from the earth realms, the minerals, plants, the animals, mountains, the rivers, the oceans. aligning ourselves with these great natural powers and all their wisdom. And then opening together to the great mystery of life and existence and reality. The creative source of all. Please bring your awareness now back to our group field. Invite you to visualize on the inside circumference of our field, as if we're in a circle, that we're creating together a filter of white light. This filter allows us to pass through in our essence, while gently but firmly holding all other energies for the duration of our practice. So please bring your awareness now back to your own being. I invite you to start to bring your awareness again to your heart center in the middle of your chest. And to start to connect with the intrinsic qualities of the heart. Qualities of unconditional love, of compassion and kindness, joy, courage, and then to have a sense that your heart center is starting to extend from where you are and coming into the center of our field, passing through our filter of light. And to sense that we're meeting in the center of our field at the level of the heart. Coming into resonance. Mixing and merging. Sensing a presence forming in the very center of our field. That represents our one group heart. Starting to beat together in resonance and alignment. Sensing the strength and the power of our coherent group heart. The power of our shared love and compassion and kindness and courage. and recognizing that our group heart contains something of the very essence of every one of us. Joined together in common intention. Common calling and purpose. And so now I want to invite you to gently bring your awareness back to your own being. And this time to start to connect in your being with the part of you that experiences guidance, insight, knowing. That deep part of your intuitive mind that listens very deeply to the quiet, small voice of wisdom within. While this wisdom can arise in many ways, we can often experience the light bulb going off in our head center, sensing this as our higher mind center. And I want to invite you now to sense that your higher mind center is extending from where you are, coming into the center of our circle, passing through our filter. And sense that we're meeting and mixing and merging at the level of our higher mind centers. Just keeping your awareness in the center of our field and noticing what it feels like as our intuitive higher minds come together, come into resonance. And start to form together one group higher mind. Sensing this presence as an opening where we can listen together very deeply and quietly and receptively to the guidance of life. Sensing how this center contains something of the essence of every one of us. And that we are supporting each other to come into this place of deep listening. And invite you to sense that this center of our group higher mind is open. At the top of this center, open to vast intelligence of the cosmos. Sensing an open channel between our group higher mind and the guidance and intelligence of the cosmos. Invite you to sense an opening in this center of our group higher mind below to connect our group higher mind with our group heart. Sensing an open channel between our group heart and our group higher mind. Bringing us into deep heart-mind coherence. In ourselves personally and in our group together. Please now open your awareness to the field of the United States of America. The heart and soul of America. You may connect with the field of America through the land itself, through the diversity of its people living and from the past. Spirit of the Native Americans, principles of founding vision. I want to invite you to connect in particular with the higher mind or the higher consciousness of the United States of America. The center of wisdom and knowing. Of the United States. And recognizing that our field is a subset of the higher consciousness of America. Our higher mind center is a subset of the higher mind of America. Sensing how the coherence of our higher mind is occurring at the very center of the higher mind of America. Sensing that our coherence is strengthening the coherence of the higher mind of America. Strengthening America's capacity to listen deeply for insight and wisdom. To be guided by the deeper intelligence of life, of cosmos. To support the United States to come into deeper fulfillment of its purpose. To bring forth a culture of wisdom. In service to all life on earth. And sense that we're planting a small but potent seed for this vision into the high mind of the United States. Gently bringing your awareness back to your own location in 3D reality on planet Earth. Feeling your feet on the ground. Reconnecting with your sovereignty as a unique and autonomous individual, but still deeply connected to each other and our group field. Going to open a space here for sharing. Just noticing what's moving through you now. What you might feel moved to share with the others here about your experience. A way that can help build our field of collective wisdom. Knowing it can take a little time to transition from this deep space we've been in. But if or when you feel called, invite you to, you can turn your videos back on and you can just unmute your own line as called to share your experience.
Well, hello, everyone. I will try to express a few thoughts. I'm Jan, and can you hear me all right? Okay. Thank you for that profound experience. So many things were very powerful for me. First of all, I will say one piece when you invited us to bring our higher self into merge with the others in the group. I've never done that before. It was a bit surprising, very intimate kind of experience. But I did feel safe to attempt to do that. And another thing I noticed was I was realizing the next step that you were going to lead us into before you spoke it. That was a really wonderful experience. What that did for me was to confirm the rightness, the power of our meditation together, and it was very deep. On a fun side as well, there happens to be an electrical storm overhead in my location. And at a couple key moments, there was this giant thunderous explosion from Mother Earth. So more validation at a couple of key points. When you mentioned courage, there was a big boom. I'm trying to recall the other one. There was like 2 or 3. Anyway, just saying that was really amazing. And another part was actually greeting the personality or the being of the United States, something I've never experienced before. But again, with the consensus of the group, I went into that experience. And what happened for me, what I sensed, kind of in the middle of that piece, sort of near the end, in the middle towards the end, I sensed this lightening, a brightening, a joy, a welcoming from that presence to us, saying, thank you. Thank you for greeting me as a being and for bringing yourselves into this greeting and experience. I really sensed that. It was a very physical sensation that I experienced. So I guess those were the key things that I'll bring up now. I don't want to take too much time, but it was a wonderful experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jan. It's really rich sharing. Yeah. Me too. I will just say it is an intimate process to connect at that deep level. But with that, it is always voluntary, you know, like it's an invitation. And we always respect and move back into our sovereignty as individuals so we can move in and out of that group resonance with choice. And we also do take care. That's why we have that step of the filter, so that when we're meeting in the center, we're meeting in our essence. And the more unconscious sort of energies we are consciously holding beyond that inner sanctum. So there are various things built into the process that do support the safety of that. And usually the trust grows over time even more. So, but thank you so much. It's very, very beautiful sharing. Thank you.
If anybody else has something they'd like to share, you can just unmute yourself.
Hi.
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 Thank you so much. My name is Tiana. What a beautiful, beautiful space. I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'd like to share just a little bit about what I experienced that was very, I felt just beautiful. When we went into Mother Earth and we were grounding and wrapping ourselves around the core, wow, I just felt all of the energy drop and how grounded it became. And I knew that it wasn't just my energy, it was the energy of the group and the energy of the vision itself. I almost felt that pregnancy in the womb, just really grounding. So I was happy about that. And also when we went into the heart center and we connected, you would think that it was going to feel, I did also, before you said it, feel our heart beat together and have this movement. And I could feel us merging together, but then all of a sudden the energy expanded into this wide space of, wow, there's so much room for all of us. There's so much room for this expansion rather than feeling, oh, you know, we're bound together. So I found that really fascinating. I had never experienced anything like that before. And also in the process, I felt in that time when we were in the heart that we were on some higher level collectively engaging in a very somehow a desiring for a space of deep trust. So I'm explaining it just like this because they weren't just vague things. They were the very almost concrete and felt very real, more profound than just you would say, oh yeah, I trust this this group. It just felt so deep on a very spiritual level. So just wanted to acknowledge that. Yeah, and I think that's all I'm gonna say. There was some other stuff that went on when we went into the busyness of America's mind, including some external things that were going on. But I'm gonna stop there and let other people share. Just thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Tiana.
Thank you, Tiana. Tiana, thank you for your words, but I also just want to say you're sharing so much with your presence. You're coming through in such a profound way, and your joy is just bubbling over. So thank you for bringing yourself so fully here. It's beautiful to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for creating the space.
I think we might have time for one or two more shares. If anybody has something that has come forward for them, we'd love to hear it. It really helps the field develop actually as people come forward and bring what's real for them, what's come through for them.
You're on. You're good.
Hello, everyone.
You guys are a little hard to hear.
I'll move closer.
Yeah.
Hi, Sophia.
Hey, Sophia.
Hi there. Hello, everyone. When we tuned into, I think you called it the Oversoul of America, or you referred to it that way before, and that's what it felt like. And I just felt this resonant invitation for feminine wisdom. Just the words feminine wisdom were like so loud and clear in my space from that moment and right through to the end of the meditation. And I'm just really being with what that feels like more than what that means. And just for that to enter in so powerfully, this invitation for feminine wisdom is landing in this quite profound. Thank you. My one piece I feel like sharing.
Thank you, Sophia. I feel that. Yeah, it's very powerful.
I'll share just kind of on the cool factor. I just think it's so cool that it's so palpable. Yeah. It's so cool that it feels so real. Like it's kind of like, that's really awesome. Like we just did a thing and it worked, because we all, I really resonate with a lot of your shares. Jan, I resonate with what you said in the sense that I was kind of sensing where it was going, kind of right before he was saying it, feeling like there was something kind of a little bit more objective or intersubjective that we were all able to touch. And Tiana, that moment right kind of before he named the heartbeat, like I felt that heartbeat, and you described exactly how I experienced it too. So I just think it's so cool and so special that this feels so palpable and that we're blessed to have this as a part of our shared experience. And I think that it might sound a little bit strange to say blessed. Like, what does that mean? Like, like we just created it. So we chose this. Well, kind of, and we're just blessed. We're blessed to all be here, to have found each other, to have these skills and the expertise of David and Kate entering into the field and holding this space. And I just kept feeling like we are so blessed to be having this experience. And of course, because I'm holding a strong vision for where this goes, I can feel that the quantity of us coming to meditate together each month increases, and the depth of that practice increases, and even energetic level, those that have been doing it for several months will be energetically initiating the new people that are joining that field. And so I can feel that we're really building something, and I can really feel thousands of people joining us and having these very deep experiences that are really having a shift in the energetic field of America. and that are creating the energetic space for the mission and vision of One Nation to be fulfilled. So I'm really feeling connected to all of that. And just a little bit of like, kind of like a plug on my outro is if there's anyone else that you know in the One Nation network that you think would be really impacted and feel aligned to be a part of this, please take a moment this next month, have a heartfelt interaction, a phone conversation, a text message, or some meaningful outreach to say, you know, if it feels true for you, hey, I really think you might want to invest the time in being a part of this next month. And they might not see the email, they might not see the Facebook post, but we might be the ones that are actually weaving the field each month, you know, through the actions and the communication that we have between our calls. So maybe we continue to weave. We're not going for numbers, we're just going for rightness. But may we sense how we might have a role in weaving that more complete right field. Thank you.
Thanks, Christopher. Yeah. I'll just in response to that, just a couple of things is to say, I mean, I'm all lit up myself with all of this, you know, all of our interconnections, and we're all activating each other, right, with this sort of thing. And there is a very beautiful synergy here. This practice and what I sense in the One Nation vision and mission, you know, this practice is, as many of you have been saying, there's something about, I mean, it does represent a certain evolution of spiritual practice that a number of groups are doing these days, where it is about the intersubjective awareness that is creating together these different sort of forms of consciousness that is quite revolutionary, is quite new, but very much in alignment with the all-win paradigm and other aspects of the One Nation vision. You know, we're all getting different pieces of these next codes of evolution that are coming through. And there's something about when we come together in this particular practice, a few of you mentioned, like, it's so tangible, it's so real, and it does seem to represent the presence that we create together. It's closer to us somehow. It's more tangible than a more traditional meditation, often when it's, say, us and God or us and the whole. Like, there's a way in which we're creating together through our shared presence something that is easier for us to access. It's kind of almost like an intermediary between us as individual consciousness and the whole, this shared group space. So I just think that's very interesting. And we're all, like I say, tapping into this new consciousness in different ways. And so it's a very virtuous meeting.
Yeah, it's a great way to bring it to an end here, David. I think it's a very virtuous meeting that we had today.
I think Artie wants to say.
Oh, Artie, do you have something quick to say? Go for it.
I'll do it quickly. A great privilege to be here. And I'm drawing on many streams from going to a Quaker school and growing up, and what I share with Christopher about the American religions, and writing the finishing chapter of my book on how people can fill the room when world healing is our calling. So I'll have a lot to chime in at some point, but how great to meet you all and be with you, particularly as a Vietnam veteran on July 4th, when that chicken hawk is putting tanks in the Capitol to be able to be doing this. How wondrous.
Great to meet you here, Artie.
Artie, thanks for that.
Look forward to deepening and learning more about your style.
Yeah. Well, we know that this field is developing, and all the work that we did here today is building on the work that has happened in the past couple of months, and it will continue on. And we hope that you can come and join us every month. We would love to have you. But also know, in between the times that we do come together, you can continue to contribute to this field by tuning into it, and you can also call upon it as a place of strength, as a place of a place for rejuvenation or support as you move through the world and think about how your life connects with OneNation and everything that's unfolding here. So it's a beautiful, important space that we're creating together. Deep gratitude to you all for being here on this auspicious day, the 4th of July, as we are working together on a political movement. So it's a special day that we came together here. And I think we'd just like to take 20 seconds to just have a moment of silence to just kind of seal our call here today. You can close your eyes, you can keep them open. We just want to be together before we say goodbye today. So just for a bit here, just seal it up. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
everybody.
everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.
Thank you
Bye.
for leading us today. We really appreciate you a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys. We'll see you next month.
See you soon.
See you soon.
See you all
Okay.
soon.
Bye.
Bye now.